Welcome back. This is a reading of Pastor Rodney Howard Browne's book, Dr. Rodney Howard Browne's book, School of the Spirit. We are on chapter 2, reading of chapter 2. Chapter 2 is entitled, You're Never Too Old to Learn. I have an uncle who is 88 years of age. He went into the ministry when he was 16 years old, and he is still alive today and still preaching. He's a professor of theology and a holder of many degrees, and he found one of the main Pentecostal theological seminaries in South Africa. He started it back in the 30s on his front veranda. He also was a moderator of one of the biggest Pentecostal denominations in the country for many years. A moderator is the head of a denomination. I know for a fact that he studied the epistles probably 1,000 times each, doing extensive studies on each of them. And I can remember as a child when our family would go to visit him, I was in awe of him because every time he opened his mouth, I would learn something. So I learned to keep my mouth shut and just listen. His in-depth dissertations of the scripture could make your head spin. He could open up the book of Ruth, chapter 1, and spend 5 hours on 3 verses. He has traveled the world. He has traveled the whole land of Israel probably 34 times, and he knows more than the tour guides because he understands Greek and Hebrew, and he has studied the Bible history extensively. Wow. I can remember that many times we would spend 4 or 5 days with my uncles. We would start the day around the breakfast table talking about the Bible and the things of God until 10 or 10:30. Then we would move into the living room, have some tea, and continue the discussion. The dinner bell would ring at 1. We would go back to the kitchen and have lunch, then come back into the living room for the afternoon, then back to the kitchen for supper. The whole day was spent just talking about the Word and the things of God. The last time we visited like that was about 12 years ago, and I clearly remember him looking at me during a discussion and telling me that he felt he knew nothing. I looked at him and I thought, well, that really helps me. I really do appreciate those words. Here you are, the theologian, with every degree under the sun, and you're telling me you know nothing. I really feel encouraged about life. I really feel encouraged about the future because I thought your knowledge was at the top of the chart, and if you know nothing, then I don't even make the chart. Hey, that was the reading of chapter 2, School of the Spirit, written by Dr. Rodney Howard Browne. We'll see you for chapter 3.